Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm joining you today for Mad About Mini Pads. That's right, each month we join together and we create using our mini pads, showing you how to use them up. This one today I'm using Oriental Garden from Stamperia. I call it Stamperia, other people call it Stamperia. So it's just a matter on where your emphasis on the word is. So I love this paper, it's just gorgeous, and this is an 8x8 pad, and I'm going to use those 4 panels there. I was contemplating using these round pieces on the layout today, but they actually don't make it on there, and I will use them somewhere down the track. So this is the beautiful Oriental Garden, and I'm going to tie it in with this piece of paper here from Australia as well, Elisa Reed I think it's called, and I'm using her paper with the Chinese symbols for earth words on it, and it is in a brown colour, which is great for the Stamperia papers, and it just matches nicely. Now I am cutting a 1-inch frame with this olive green because I am going to use the interior of it to matte pieces on this layout. So that's frame also going to go to the back of this layout to give it some stability as well. Now I was in Haymarket this year on the 1st of February, which was the beginning of the Lunar New Year, and this year is the year of the snake. So we went down, and I've been going down for a few years to go through and look at all the Chinese New Year lights and all the celebrations that happen, and I've never actually been able to capture one of the dragon dances. But this time we were down there early enough, and it was on the first day of the celebrations down there, so they had lots and lots of the dances happening. Now, I was watching the adult ones, but there were thousands and thousands of people crowded into the area, so getting photos was pretty hard to achieve. Whereas we went outside, and on one of the forecourts near Haymarket, they had these junior dancers. So they were training the junior dancers to do the dragon dance, and it was great. So these photos are of that entertainment section that we sat and watched, which was really, really cool to see. So I've chosen my papers, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting in my panels. I'm having 5 photos, so therefore I need 5 panels, and I'm selected the colours that are reflective of the red dragon that I am focusing on. These panels are cut to be just over 4 inches by, I think I did them 4 1/4 in size, and then I've mounted them so that they work out exactly 4 by 4 1/2. And then I'm putting those to the bottom. Now you'll see with my matted piece from the gutting in the middle, it's not exactly the full length, so I do need to add a bit, which is quite okay with this bottom one because it blends nicely with this colour, and you cannot tell that I don't have a full piece put together. So that's how I've been able to stretch my cardstock to make this happen. So I'm just putting it on to 2 pieces of the olive, and that works beautifully because you don't see the join so much when you see them together, and from a distance you definitely don't see the joins. So I've been able to make sure that all 5 of those pieces have been matted. I have my 5 photos ready, and now I'm going to choose these 5 panels which I showed you before, and then I'm going to create another one. Well, there's only 4 panels, and then I'm going to create another one from leftovers from the paper that I've cut out. So I'm just going to cut these ones down to, they come down to 3 1/2 by 1 1/4 in width. So that's the panels that I'm using here, and I'm just trimming off the excess that I'm not going to require. And as I said, I'm using a piece of this patterned paper that was left over, and I like that I was able to get detail from that section there. From those, I'm then going to mount them onto the olive, which is really the outlining here, and it just needs to be very, very narrow, which is great, and I've got just enough to do that. And once again, I am a little bit short, so I will need to add 2 bits to a piece, but overall it just comes together so nicely. And the olive is just a nice touch to just add that little bit of colour, build in the border and tie in with the natural tones of the papers. Now, I had contemplated using black, but I thought that would be too stark, and that's why I went with the olive. And as you can see, it just layers up nicely and fits in beautifully with the colour tones of the layout. Now, here's where I am using the bits to build that bottom part of the tab there. And once it's trimmed down and neatened up, you can't even tell that I've added that piece in. So now I'm ready to build this layout because I have prepared every piece that I need for that section. Now I'm just going to layer this paper down onto my frame, and I always do one at a time, using one strip at a time so that I don't get that bubble effect and it sits nice and flat against the frame. Now that that's in place, I can start playing with the main structure. And what I want to do is I want to create a grid-like effect with these panels, and I'm going to center them into there, and then I'm going to overlap them. So you'll see how this works with the 5 there, and by using the 3 with the reds in it, it looks really effective. And I'm just pulling these little side panels to add another layer to it and add some more interest. Now, as part of the embellishing, I'm going to use these little wooden flowers, and I have my acrylic paint pen here in a brown mushroom colour that matches the background paper. But when it dries on the wood, it gives it a brown tone, which is nice, and it just, when it settles onto the page, just is enough to capture your eye and drag it around the layout. Now I have 2 different sizes that I'm going to use. I have the larger ones, and then I have the 2 smaller ones for each cluster that I'm going to put into there. But I need to paint them with the pen first, and then when they dry I will be able to add them to the layout. And these pens are amazing, these acrylic paint pens. I'm absolutely loving them. So they're doing a great thing. I got them, I bought them on a deal from somewhere, and I got 30 different colours, which is amazing. So I'm just going to lay down my photos now, because I have off-screen cut gold frames, and the gold is a subtle gold. It's a burnished gold, which just blends in beautifully with those Chinese symbols on the background paper, but also with the tones of the browns and the golds in the mini pad that I have used to work on this layout. So I'm going to overlay these frames just to highlight my pictures and to add a little bit of extra detail to the layout. And as you can see, it's coming together quite nicely. You will see I've overlapped those panels so that they look like they're all in one piece, and I have then put the photos down so that they sit above that decorative panel on each square, and that allows for the eye to just focus in on these little tiny photos. And I thought that was really clever how that's come together. Now I have these lantern die cuts, which I've used my die cut machine to do, and I'm going to hang those from the top parts of the panels into the spaces to the side, and that's just that little bit of an extra decorative touch. And I've also cut out a dragon using the gold paper and my die cutting machine, and that's I'm going to pop up on tape and put down here to the bottom, so that I have the dragon for the dragon dance, and you can see how this is coming together. For my final touches, I'm going to put in those little flowers that we coloured with the acrylic pen, and they are going to sit, I have a big one on each of those panels in the corner, and then I'm going to add little ones to 3 of them to set up a visual triangle. And that's how this is coming together beautifully. And I love how the colour of it, that it dried into that bronzy, goldy tone. And from there, I have also cut out my title using the dies and then my Xyron sticker maker to make it into a stickers, which is so much easier when you're trying to layer up your layouts. And they will stay permanently stuck to the page because they are permanent, which is great. And I'm putting in the title Chinese New Year. Now, as I said, these photos were of the juniors doing their dance. They were very, very good. And it was a very muggy, very warm day. And they were like exhausted at the end of that dance, but they did a fantastic job. And I just love the detail of the dragons. They are just amazing to look at. So here's my layout. You can see those flowers there. You can see the symbols in the paper. You can see the frames around the photos, drawing it in those panels. I just love how that mini pad has created such a great layout for this collection of photos. So I hope I've done something to earn a thumbs up from you. Hope you stayed tuned. Don't forget, there's a whole lot of people playing and I have them listed down below. Go and check out what everybody has done with a mini pad. These are the unsung heroes of our collections, the mini pads that we all collect and then don't use. So this is a great hop to get you inspired to pull them out and use them. So happy scrapping, everybody. Thanks for watching once again. And here's my next video recommendation for you. Catch you real soon.